Joe, I had a dream last night, and I thought we had to sit here and do an emergency podcast, if you call it. I mean, I had a dream that Brian Cook came to Carlton, baby.
Hey, I said it on the Almost Blues Brothers socials yesterday. To feel good as a Carlton supporter and to get what you want for the club, it's a very unnatural feeling, but it feels so good, man.
We have been patient, frustrated. Obviously, the process is happening. Some people are more patient than others. A lot's going on. Darts are being thrown from the mainstream media. This is happening, that's happening. So-and-so doesn't want to come, knocking us back. But at the end of the day, it's all about putting the right people in the right places. And I guess I just wanted to get, that live natural reaction documented because it's exciting. It's the first bit of news since the season ended. And this review process in terms of the actionable items and whatnot has taken place. And I don't know, I've got a smile on my face, mate.
Hey, you say it's exciting. It's honestly, it's the most exciting administrative move I've seen from this club for a very long time. Like, I can't even remember something as big as this for this club in my time.
Yeah.
From a sports admin perspective in this club, since John Elliott left, I've always heard, Ian Collins came in and since we left Princess Park, it's been a shambles. We've had no one in there that knows what they're doing. Brian Cook has almost 40 years of sports administrative experience. You can see my dog there; he's excited as well. But he's got almost 40 years of administrative experience. 1986, I believe, is when he first started in sports admin. Came across the West Coast, 1990. As CEO, I believe, from that point, and won a couple of flags there. Been at Geelong for the better part of the last 20 years, and he's won flags there. This guy here, I've said it to you, Tez. You can tell what you want about our head coach appointment. At this point, I don't care. The most important appointment that we could have made this offseason was Brian Cook as CEO, and Luke Sayers deserves every bit of props that should come his way.
Yeah, I mean, let's just get into the direct quotes from both of them. Luke Sayers on the Carlton website said, this is a significant pillar of the club's reset strategy, whereby our football club is striving to bring in the best available people with strong leadership who thrive on building and driving a high-performance culture. And that is exactly what Carlton needs to take our next significant step. And nobody fits that criteria better than Brian Cook. He's an experienced leader who, to put it simply, knows what success looks like and, more importantly, knows everything that is required to achieve it on and off the field. While our club is in a strong position off the field, we intend to take this to another level by being proactive and innovative, and Brian, as CEO, will play a pivotal role in leading that approach. I mean, it goes on a little bit more, but, obviously they're just words and whatnot, but in this case, it's really backed up by an action. This is what we're out to do, and this is the first major signing to do that, and it's great. It's exciting, and it's something to get behind.
And for all the supporters as well that might sort of feel like the club's in a bit of a shambles because of what's been happening in the mainstream media and what they're saying. You don't make decisions at a board level with someone like Luke Sayers' experience in administrative positions at PwC, for instance, unless you've got something lined up. That goes for the head coach and it goes to the CEO. We sacked Kane Little. There were murmurs in the media that Brian Cook wasn't coming. Sorry, that was never happening. You don't sack your CEO unless you're absolutely certain you've got the right replacement. And it just goes to show Luke Sayers has done a phenomenal job. And I genuinely, I haven't been able to wipe the smile off my face every time I think about it, mate. Like we have Brian Cook as our CEO. People need to understand the gravity of that because this guy is a winner. He brings success wherever he goes for the better part of the last 40 years. He is the hottest property in the free agent market this AFL offseason, and we nailed him. We actually nailed him.
Well, let's what he said, what Brian said, and his direct quotes were, "When Luke presented this opportunity to me, he did so with a clear vision to make the Carlton Football Club a benchmark in striving for high performance in all areas. The chance to help achieve that for a club with such a massive supporter base, with unmatched passion, this decision was a simple one for me. Football clubs are built on its people, its players, its coaches, staffs, members, supporters, and commercial partners. My first focus will be connecting with as many of our people as possible and making sure that we are all aligned on how we are going to push this football club to achieve the success it is striving for. Yeah, Brian is a special. I've had the privilege of meeting him a couple of times, and I always came away from any time I interacted with him is like his people skills are unmatched, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, I've never had the privilege to meet him. I hope I do at some stage because I've heard him speak, and you can just tell the wealth of knowledge, his ability to wrap his arms around an organization and put them on his back from the top with clear messaging all the way down to build a very, very solid and sound strategy across a sporting organization. It's unmatched. It is unmatched. There's a reason this guy has had the longevity at the top for so long in the AFL. And if he didn't think he had it in him to do it again, he would not have taken this position. There's no chance, because I dare say that this is probably going to be one of the tougher positions he's taken over as CEO in his time in football. Just considering the brevity of if we fail next year. And I think he knows that, right? And I don't think he's someone that's going to jump into it thinking it can't be done. I think he looks at it and goes, this is a clear opportunity to bring the swagger back to Princess Park. Oh, mate, it's just, I can see it now. I've got the vision. I've actually got a vision for this football club. Finally, Tez. Finally, you could see it. You could actually see it.
It's an interesting one. I thought about that as well. And you look at the challenges, that were presented with him before he took up the role at West Coast and then Geelong. And I don't know. I think I'm with you in terms of the gravity of the role, because the Carlton Football Club is such a massive club, and it's, so much pressure, and the fans and the damage that, we feel because we haven't been successful for a very long time and all of that. But when you look at it from another way, it's like, all right, well, this is the club off field, out of debt, all of that, all those things that I know that we don't like to hear about because we want to see on-field success. But from a CEO point of view, it's like financially we're good, we're on our 2 feet. Whereas Geelong were struggling. I remember when he took over, the fans were going to the club and donating all their money to keep it afloat and things like that. So they were in turmoil. So like, how can he say no? Like, and I think the legacy part of this as well, like whoever is a part of the Carlton Football Club, when we win the next one, like, you're etched in history forever. It's such a massive role,
It's I believe it's our longest premiership drought in the history of this club. And if you're there, if you're part of this club at any level, CEO, accountant, player, physio, water boy, whoever it is that is there, you're right. They are going to be revered among this supporter base for bringing us back to where we belong. And that's where I look at this appointment and I say, the Carlton of old, without the salary cap breaches, hopefully, the Carlton of old, that we're back. Like, this is what we do. We are a big club. We get big names. We're an organization that people want to come to. And for Brian Cook, who is exiting Geelong with a massive legacy that he's left there, and good on him, for him to look at our club and say, they're the ones. If it doesn't give you confidence as a supporter that we're now going somewhere, I don't know what will. I really don't.
Yeah, spot on. I mean, bring on the media jabs. Mainstream, come and get it. Come and get it.
Where are they now? Where are they now? I want to see him this week get on the bandwagon. Oh, Carlton's back. Cook's there. Yeah. You know what? You can go and get stuffed because you haven't been with us for the better part of the last 16 weeks. You've made us sound like more of a rabble than the Collingwood Football Club, even though they've got more problems than I could even count. I will laugh for the first media person that jumps on the bandwagon again for Carlton and goes, yep, they're back, because they've been nowhere. They have been absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what about you guys in the audience? Let us know. Put a comment down below. What was your reaction to the news about Brian Cook choosing to come to the Carlton Football Club? Let's have a chat about it in the comments. Joe, thanks for joining me, mate.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.